Take another look. Nvidia informed me that Blackwell will be sampling and that they will ship in large quantities during the second half. Only the first 50 customers will be eligible for the 50% discount on all of the store's merchandise. According to information, it has slipped and might not ship in large quantities until the second half. So therefore it's not going to be ready in 25. Some people are now saying, I don't get that. If I were to purchase Nvidia down 12, you should purchase Nvidia down 12. Yes, and you purchase more if it reaches 86. What am I going to tell you, really? Buying it isn't that risky. It is a supply issue, not a demand one, whether they are delayed or not. Additionally, supply usually doesn't matter as much to investors. The problem arises if you tell me there is no demand. However, according to my sources, Zuckerberg would accept each and every Blackwell. The clients are present. People were dismayed, I believe, by the Amazon conference call because they said, look, we have to buy, and Google said, we have to buy. Although Amazon produces certain chips, Blackwell is superior. Nvidia has been too heated though. For Nvidia, this is a significant adjustment. I didn't like it when their products were used to mine cryptocurrency. But should I fire Nvidia? No. Would I like to purchase Amazon right now? Yes, sort of. David Amazon is currently at 154, down from 200. For example, if I want 100 shares of Amazon, I buy 25 and then buy another 25 if the price drops by another $3. Since the level of panic at the moment is out of proportion to the facts, I'm attempting to be a little objective. Yes, and I apologize to Warren Buffett one more. To put it simply, Tim Cook and Warren Buffett did not sit down for the go in or go out. You have to decide for yourself, in my opinion, and aside from Mega. I felt Apple had the finest quarter of all these large corporations. Additionally, I don't want to sell all of these equities due to Japanese or Japanese-related selling. Yes, look at the losers. ARM is one of them. About ARM, I'm a little concerned. They had a good quarter, but SoftBank owns a lot, so I'm concerned. Describe the issue. Yes, ARM is fully under SoftBank's control. After all, the float is still minuscule compared to the whole proportion. The stock traded at $58 after opening at $50. However, we have no idea what SoftBank has been doing in terms of terms or the end. We also don't know if they made the trade. You see, we know they can return, but we don't know a lot. So what? That selling some ARM might be necessary. I'm now concerned about that. Could I simply state that Nvidia will be taken into consideration that the information narrative is incorrect and that they don't need to postpone the Blackwell? That's correct. If the corporation informs me that, look, nothing's really changed since August, you might say that they made a vague assertion between July and August. What they're attempting to express during the silent time is we're fine, you could say. Simply put, if a corporation is in a bad market, quiet and unable to defend itself, a helpless, pathetic giant, it's a fantastic opportunity to hit them over the weekend. You know what, I say as I sit here. I should merely work at another employment if I wish to respond to the informational narrative. I should just start watching Peacock all the time. You want to have some prudence, I guess. Fair enough, some thought. If all you want to do is join the rep, you should do so with more consideration. What is the current status of the historic Russell trade? As it happens, you were unable to escape. The buy-in was only with the futures, and they wouldn't stop you from going out, so it was a Roach Motel transaction. I've been informed that, listen, we'll take you out down 3%, is not all they would say. They wouldn't. Brokers wouldn't do it. So the Russell, what a good trade. What appealed to me about it? It was small cap, I see now. It was nice small cap. It should be a requirement that you know what you're doing. Wolf Research Senior Analyst Chris Casso is here. Given that the stock is being impacted this morning, you might want to talk to Intel about it all. But did it get hit last week, by the way? Yes, it did. Additionally, what transpired with Intel was unique to them. It's about how they missed AI and how much money they've been spending to fix their manufacturing. Thus, it's rather contradictory to the reasons behind Nvidia's dominance, which has undoubtedly been a driving force behind the market. However, it's really not distinct because one of the reasons Intel is in this predicament at the moment is because they missed out on AI. However, it doesn't address Nvidia's current situation, which is still exhibiting a great deal of strength. The point is this: do you think we were talking about sort of a Warren Buffett sale on aisle 5 when you see the stock at this price on a morning like this, or do you think it's fantastic? My God, this is a falling knife and it's got a lot more to fall, is another way to put it. Additionally, I always appreciate the markets when they act in a way similar to what they did on Friday and today. The foundations of Nvidia are still very solid, in my opinion. It never reached a bubble-like valuation, so it isn't. As of right now, Nvidia's earnings for the quarter are $4. It's going higher than that, I believe. At roughly a 25 multiple, it's a great deal for what is undoubtedly one of the market's most significant stocks. Therefore, when you consider, let's think even more broadly now. Just take a moment to consider artificial intelligence, AI, as that is the other aspect of this. And this morning, we're examining Apple. It's a sign of the bigger problem, even though I realize it's not a stock you cover specifically. In addition to everything else going on, we saw Warren Buffett sell his interest in that firm, which I believe is also hurting Apple. However, do you think I will trigger a kind of enormous supercycle, if you will, in terms of all hardware improvements over the course of the next year or two? Or do you see a lot more processors with cloud computing capabilities being sold to fuel AI? It could be divided into 3 categories. One is artificial intelligence, AI, which powers the models themselves for Nvidia. It's the first thing you need, the first thing you should do, and it won't go away. The second section then discusses smartphones, followed by PCs. Because of what Apple done, which states that you must have an iPhone 15 Pro or higher to run Apple AI. Whether you need it or not, we are much more optimistic about AI on smartphones. This is due to the fact that Apple controls the ecosystem. From a PC perspective, we're less optimistic because, for instance, neither Microsoft nor Intel are interested in pressuring you to get a new computer. It will open today at 96 since Nvidia was 141. That's 32%. It was more than 3 trillion, and it might have been less than 2 trillion at one point. We don't want the Nasdaq to drop 32%, even though Nvidia has been the market leader and clearly outperformed everything else. As we mentioned, the Dow and S&P are down 4% and 6%, respectively, and it is only down 10%. Nvidia has experienced a 32% decline. Which one catches up with whom then? Well, keep in mind that Nvidia's growth matched its earnings growth. They're profitable, you know. When it comes down to it, what is the mult? What is it doing now? It has dropped 32%. And I suppose that for the past week, we have talked to investors, and part of that has been to let them know what might be going on in the market. This retreat is being sniffed out. Your profits are Nvidia, a stock for which they made the greatest money. Let's avoid ruining your year now if it was a great one. Let's remove some cash from the equation. This is all cheap today. Go buy, go buy, go buy, or hold your fire. Are your responses when others call you? We're still there, listen. Since the fundamentals haven't shown it, I believe this to be a bit of a mid-cycle correction. For instance, I would be concerned if we saw a slowdown in the use of AI. For instance, the hyperscalers have told us so far this quarter that capital expenditures are very high at the moment, and the reason for this is that they are unable to